आपको यहाँ देखकर कितना हैरान हूँ मैं। इस जंगल में, इस दूर दराज जजीरे पर, मेरे इस खैमे की तन्हाई में कौन बसा गया है आपको?
हीरे तो महंगा सी प्यार मेरा, हीरे तो महंगा सी प्यार मेरा, चांदी दे पिछे भज भज के तू गवा लिया प्यार मेरा, लोकां दे पिछे लग लग के तू गवा लिया प्यार मेरा, हीरे तो महंगा सी प्यार मेरा, हीरे तो महंगा सी प्यार मेरा।
ओके गाइस, वी आर बैक। आई एम सॉरी फॉर द डिले अगेन यार, मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा है लाइट का क्या करें। मेरे को बस थोड़ा सा टाइम दो, फिर मैं दिखाता हूँ। चूहा गया डॉक्टर के पास, डॉक्टर ने लगाई सुई।
Enough pedigree. I mean, Kurt has been playing this game forever, right? Basically since the start. SDK has been his home for quite a while now. You have Alo, who has also been on SDK for quite a while now. One of, you know, back in the day, you kind of up-and-coming, really new, talented players. We used to call him the close-range god in our region because he was so proficient when it came to those pushes into... Oh, hold on a second. Speaking of pushes, I'll get to that point in a second. Yep.
He's going to get out of there, isn't he?
Yeah, he should.
Little ghost.
29 bullets with no armor. It's possible.
There's an uphill climb, but thank God that thing has a roof. Oh. Oh, now you can continue.
Anyway.
As you were saying.
As I was saying, yes. So, you know, Alo joining this. I mean, the core of that squad has always been, at this point, Purdy, Luke, and Alo. Sparking, I feel like, was the perfect member to add to that team. The young blood injected into that squad, and someone who himself has been looking for so long for the right team to fit his playstyle, to be able to enable his talent. As we see HSSM driving past KDF.
They haven't reloaded. Oh, wait, now. Oh, there are two on that bike, too.
Oh, that would have been devastating for four.
No. Heaven!
Oh, this is terrible.
That's two. The open in heaven has never had an easier time eliminating two.
That was a disaster for 4 AM. Oh, it could be even worse.
Please, guys. I mean, honestly, for Quantum Freaks, thank you for him. They needed something going their way. And if it's people running around in the open at 2 minutes 10, they'll take that as their lead. But for 4 AM, that is abysmal.
The problem for neither is, I don't think 4 AM was even being shot at yet when they hit that rock.
This is, you know what this is? This is the result of that plane path. This is the result of it.
Chaos incarnate.
I mean, you said teams are going to force the worlds where Quantum Freaks, while they, I mean, are not a being, I think 4 AM has had trouble on these rotations previously. So for 4 AM, thinking they could go past there without any issues whatsoever, I feel like that's a bit too, okay, everything is going to play out as, like, they don't take into account the what do you call them? The unpredictables of the game when they make a move like that.
I mean, that was a huge mistake by 4 AM, and that cost them dearly. Half their squad is gone, and it's not even the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird case of, as you can see me now, if you have the map stream open, EWC_white_EN2, make sure to boot it up if you haven't already.
It does exist this time.
Exactly. So Quantum Freaks are up and around Minas. They wouldn't usually be all the way down the hillside, but for 4 a.m., again, 2 guys on a bike, no loot at all, goes to show they were not expecting
ready
to be there. But even then, they drive around in a circle, they scout it out. If you're scouting, if you're playing it smart, you're not 2 guys on that bike.
Naked.
And that's without anything.
Naked,
They literally didn't have a gun. They hadn't looted anything yet. That is a very questionable move in my decision, or in my mind. But nonetheless, let's look at what we have to play with here.
Yeah, look at the circle.
As much as I said it was going to go south, honestly, this one has swung as hard north as it really could off of this plane path. We're effectively going similar territory, initially at least, to where we were in the previous one. And right now, well, TSM are the ones who are reaping the rewards of it.
Yeah, and significantly less water in this circle as well. TSM, as you said, are the beneficiaries of this circle. As we once again look at this again, I don't think they were even being shot at before they hit that rock. It's unfortunate, but back to the circle, we see a nice split already come out from TSM as they find themselves at the top portion of that, and we've seen Cruise Device circles before. There's a lot of high ground terrain to be played there, so teams early who are already in that area, I'm talking about Bet Boom, TSM, KDF potentially if they want to rotate past Death Road, will have the option to take that high ground and really start to punish the teams that are rotating or even dictate rotations entirely.
See Valentine as well. They go, guys, we won a game. Oh, well, we didn't win. We had a really good game in the previous one from this position. How about if we just stay and hope that the circles come back so we can play the exact same game once again? So that's where they're currently positioned, as everyone else will start making their journeys towards the northeast. Expect to see a lot of space on the northern side of this circle, simply due to the fact that it's going to take teams forever to get up there. You can see All Gamers Global, Tycon, currently the player furthest towards the north far west. They have such a long journey to go on in order to get over there. E-Arena, I would imagine, is going to pretty much backfill AGG on this rotation to go up towards the north, go Cruise Device as well, as we now see T1 and FaZe running into one another.
James and FaZe desperately trying to get some points here where they can. They won't be able to do so. Wait a second, Alpaca now stranded. Can James land the spray? 6 bullets. The mini comes out, and he just cannot land a shot. That's a difficult one to go, though.
That's definitely a tricky one. And again,
he spins out.
Teams on a tricky position, trying to just both run out of their
nice shot.
Take him down. Able to take him out. Rexy is down on HP, but Gustav now immediately after finds Ian. That's yet another really tough start for T1.
T1 just again running into early game woes as they have not had any footing really so far in their second. I mean, they've only played 1 and not even a half games yet, but they're struggling in these early game rotations. It's been wild for them. Zenith and Reigning really the only ones left. And back to your conversation about rotations, we do see a few teams going up towards that northwest side. That's going to be Petrichor as well as Cerberus we were just with, who have now starting to occupy that space.
Also, just a quick note here. I'm not sure if my info is incorrect, but we're seeing Alphaca play instead of Deva. As far as I'm concerned, Alphaca is definitely the coach on the team. So whether we'll try and get you an update on that, how come the presumable coach is playing rather than Deva, who, in my opinion, is one of the strongest players on the team. We'll give you, of course, insights on that as the show goes on. But for now, the remaining 2 of the 4 Angry Men trying to get a rotation going. They have successfully managed to wrap around TSM and teams down towards the south, but I mean, as we saw before, the damage has really already been done.
Yeah, I mean, they will find themselves a really good position here, but the caveat is, as you said, they're only a duo.
Wait, we're potentially lining up for something. I love the fact that we have AG Global.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
So, for those of you guys who don't know, there's a team called Cerberus, pretty darn decent. Him as the spearhead, used to have this guy on camera as the co-spearhead of the operation. Tycon, a phenomenal Vietnamese player. I went to talk to Tycon today coming into the match and said, yo, bro, well,
is that how you open the conversation?
You're playing Cerberus today, what's up? Even the Cerberus players were stood hanging out around Tycon, kind of shoving him a bit when he was in aim practice, you know, having a good time there. They're all still very good friends, regardless of him not being on the roster anymore. But I asked him, so you're playing against your former teammates. If you see them in the kill feed, like if you have any inkling of where they are, how do you react? He just looked at me and went, bro, I know all their stretch, if they see them, they die.
That's cold.
And I love it. I love it. Of course, I mean, Tygon has been part of that roster for many, many years. Before he was even eligible to play, Cerberus picked him up 2.5 years before. He was just sat there on the bench, watching, learning from Cerberus, so he knows everything there is to know about how Cerberus functions.
And that can be very dangerous when you have an opponent that knows all of your tendencies, your rotations, everything, and so he may very well exploit that weakness, but that remains to be seen. Meanwhile, again, Luna Galaxy, even though they lost a couple members early in that last game, I'm very impressed with the way they were salvaging that between Kraken and Haven.
Exactly. I mean, they had no right to stay alive for as long as they did on the side of the road. Everyone, I feel like part of the reason why 4AM had such a hard time closing out against Velatile was because they used all their util against Kraken and Haven. Now let's see here, Lil Ghost trying to get the safety against T1-2, having a hard time losing 2 players just before, but seems like Lil Ghost will be able to at least get the car, but will he get down to Sushu as well? Yeah, he should be all right.
Yeah, he should be fine, and for T1, they really need to just find some way to salvage points here, whether it's with a good position. I mean, currently they're sat in the place where the west side of the circle, if it does pull back, they will be able to somewhat hold some of those buildings. Specifically, Long building as a duo is very holdable, but they're going to need points because, as we talked about yesterday, you cannot afford to have 2-3 bad games, especially when you only have 12 to play.
I feel like going all in on a spot phase 1 is too dangerous, but I like that they're staying on the edge, taking their time here. Wait phase 2 if you get a good inkling, which
that's
they
the
do
shift they need.
Now is when you take the compound. Now is when you roll the dice and go, please, 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 circles.
One of the most difficult areas to play in all of Miramar is this. We call it Death Road for a reason. That trench that separates El Azahar's north and south side is just, if you get caught in there, it's very hard, and Xiao Wu will find Lucarex VP now in a position that is not favorable.
Again, a completely unscoutable approach here. Nixie and the Virtus Pro boys has to just full speed send it, 1 down on each side. Lucarex might be able to get back on his feet unless if Xiao Wu can do something about it. The issue is they were in a 2-2 split. You can see Sushu, Little Ghost as well, starting to make their way in this direction. But will they get here in time? That's Xiao Wu in the open, but Ebi is able to take him down.
What an absolute turn! I said unfavorable. VP looked to be turning that fight around, but all of a sudden, Xiao Wu doing exactly what was necessary, getting that knock and slowing down VP, but he will go down.
Yep, Xiao Wu will fall, and that might be 17 trying to leave the issues. I don't think they can at this point. In the meantime, T1 just cannot catch a break, and they're gonna fall because of it. Sushu with a response. Sushu finds one, Lil Ghost finds the other, and Virtus Pro, despite honestly timing it right, getting a good approach in the compound, realizing potentially that it was a 2-2 split, will fall to 17 Gaming.
And at the very least, 17 has 4 points and at least 2 members still alive, which they have done quite a bit with. Isef now turning his sights onto the members of 4AM. Godby will fall, and that will be a confirmed kill.
11.5 minutes in, and we are 13 players
This is
down.
Death Road. This circle, man, is brutal.
Absolutely insane, but also just early game rotations. Yesterday,